Welcome to another episode of I Hate Podcast Show.
Used to shit. It's okay, that's how the game is played. You thought you could be fired but didn't know how to get paid. I call that pedaling backwards. Believe me, dog, the flashy colors are absurd. I'm so nice with verbs. I can cause action without the use of words.
On today's show, we have comedian Sharita stopping through. We're going to talk to her, talk about her life as a comedian, her life in the military. We're going to have a good conversation, a good sit-down conversation, because that's what us Gen Xers do. But first, I'm all about positivity. I am. But sometimes people do some dumb shit, like for real. And then sometimes you just catch it on camera and you don't even know what to do. What the fuck is... What the fuck? Wait, for the fact that I guess that's his tea lady or his old girl came out and directed traffic. Now, here's the question. Let's run this back. You're telling me you didn't see the dude get in the car and you felt like you still needed to get under the car. And that dude get... And then look at her. She's like, okay, baby, bring it in. Okay, now turn around, go this way. This dude is dying on the floor. Okay, now back it up, twist it a little bit, turn around. This dude over here dying. All right, you're clear. All right, baby, take it to my mama's house. Oh, my God. Way to start I Hate Podcast Show. I told you I love positivity, but for some reason today I chose violence. And so, next... Wait, I think I got one more. No, shut up, wait. Nah, I think I got one more. I think I got one more. Now, this could be a bad Tubi movie, or a bad commercial for a Tubi movie, or just a bad skit altogether. I don't know the point in this. I didn't know the purpose. I just read the caption where it said Buddy was talking hot to someone's pops. Pops then called the son. And this is how it ended. But here, check this out. The context is, he ain't really never talked crazy to the dad. The dad was talking crazy. And then the dad gets on the phone with the son. And while he's on the phone with the son, you still hear the son on the phone and the son's walking in. He looks like a skinny brother, but he takes off his sweater and he's some cock diesel dude. And then he choked him. He didn't punch him. He choked him. And then that's how it goes. That's how the story went.
You gotta step back. I don't know yet. Yo, I'll go get my motherfucking son with you right now, nigga. What? You wanna go get my son? I'm gonna get my son right now. I'm getting my son right now. Watch this, nigga. You would not knock who out? You knock who out? Alright.
This don't look like a skit to you?
Watch it.
Like a bad one?
Hey, yo, can
See?
you come inside the store, bro? Come on, this nigga threatening me, man. This nigga, no young nigga, this young nigga, man. Yeah. I'm trying to order something.
Look.
He's gonna jump me. Jump the line.
Look!
This nigga right here. This nigga right here. Yo. Right now. Now, talk that shit now. Talk that shit now. Talk that shit now.
Look at the pops.
Talk that shit now, nigga. Talk that shit now. 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 Disrespect my pops, don't touch me. Talk that shit now, nigga.
Oh my God. Here's a problem I have with this. I gotta do better. First of all, the audio was immaculate. So that means he had a mic on it. This is why I'm telling you that I think it's staged, because the mic was immaculate. Whoever was filming did a fantastic job, right? But it's a Tubi skit. So we're gonna call it's a Tubi skit. Dude walked in, he was still on the phone. You could hear him on the phone, but you couldn't hear him talking in the store. All right, so then he walked over to the dude. The dude kind of looked shook. I guess the dude that was getting beat up played his part pretty well. And then the way he escaped out the front door, that's classic, but still a Tubi skit. I think I'm going to do a segment on I Hate Podcast show called Tubi Skits, where the skit's so bad that it can only be on Tubi. It can't even be on Tubi. Like, you can't even have a show on Tubi and just be like, yo, this shit is fire. This shit is trash. Coming up right now, we got comedian Sharita live from El Paso. It's Hef, baby. Let's go. I Hate Podcast show. Your boy Hef in the building. Second episode on deck. And I told you from the first episode that I was going to do something different because this is a limited series. So my interviews come off a little bit different because of the fact that I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I hate podcasts. I hate listening to them. But you might want to listen to me because I don't give a fuck. All right, so I have a guest. Now, the thing that's special about this particular guest is that it's not the first time we've ever spoke, but I actually was interviewed by her when we first met. And I was like, why the fuck you interviewing me? But I got comedian Sharita in the building. Hello. Hi.
Hey.
So I know you've been just on the grind and doing this. What's the proper way of calling somebody a comedian? Is there like a gender set for that? I remember there used to be.
There's no reason to sit there and say female, because if you can't tell I'm a female, I'm doing something wrong right there. And when you at a comedy show, you don't hear come to the stage, our first male comic, our second male comic. So we just take the gender out of it. And especially with the transgender, the non-binary, the queer, the LGBTQ plus whatever alphabet, they will tell you in their act and let them come out to the audience in that respect, because you don't want to mess up their bio, you don't want to mess up what they're gonna say. So for me, I just be like, yo, it's Sharita, that's it. Just keep it simple.
So we're gonna get into that part in a minute because of the type of how you move in your shows and stuff like that. But first, tell me, where are you from and what got you into comedy? This is your stage. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised, lived there 21 years. And I decided to join the R&B because things wouldn't go right at home. So that's how I ended up in El Paso, Texas. I've been stationed in the Army. I've been in the Army 26 years now. This month is my 26th anniversary. So I started my comedy career here in El Paso because the El Paso comic strip, it was free every Sunday for soldiers. And I started hanging out with the comics there, the local comics. And there's always that one when they'll ask you, what you like about my set? So, and here's the thing. Don't ask for criticism if you're not ready for it. And being blunt, and I keep saying, I'm from New York, where we from, we blunt, we bold, we direct, we straightforward. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you how your set was. And this person was like, well, if you think you can do better, you do it. And that's always been like any career field you go into, when somebody feel like threatened, they feel like you can't do what they can do, and then they get mad when you do it better. And that's how I ended up being a comedian.
So, I of course I've seen you perform. I think 3 times you came down to Houston, and you were.
Yeah, thank you for supporting.
No, you are funny. You're a different type of funny. Like I'm not a big fan of going to comedy shows because sometimes the comics are just, it's not my cup of tea. But I've been around comics like during my radio career. That's all I was around. Like even with Kid from Kid and Play, I spent the whole day with him and he had me dying. And I was like, you weren't funny when you were rapping? And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, you were funny. I don't think you meant to be funny, but you funny. I rock with it, and we smoked, and then he was just even funnier, and I was like, damn. So I met you at this small spot, and everybody there was fucking hilarious, right? So I was like, oh, okay, this is funny, and so. What my question is, and where I'm leaning towards is, what would you say set you apart from like a Tiffany Haddish and comedians like that?
For me specifically, I have to be set apart because I have to make my comedy relatable to both men and women. A lot of times when they see a female on stage, it's like automatically, oh, she gonna cater to the women, she gonna do women only jokes, and then the guys are gonna be isolated. And then most people think that, oh, you gonna talk shit and shit on the dudes. I'm like, nah, we love you, So I make sure that my comedy doesn't alienate anybody in the room. I got a little bit of comedy for everybody, and then keep it natural. I don't talk about my day. It's not a Dear Diary event. It's not a therapy session. It's, hey, this is me. This is what goes on in my lifestyle, and I'm bringing you into it. And if you could relate, hopefully you're relating to it, because a lot of it, I'm tired of hearing men say women aren't funny. Women aren't funny. But these be the same dudes that we not funny, but when you hot for a girl, what you do? You go there, you get her laughing, she tell you a joke, you laughing, and then all of a sudden she's funny again, right?
Yeah.
But she not funny on stage. Come on now,
There was a bit you did about because I swear you had like 27 children. I was like, God damn.
Probably got 4.
It's like, God damn, she got a lot of fucking kids, man. Not like that. I was just saying the bit how you told it was so real, right? Yeah. But it was you kind of remind me of I don't like doing comparison with people, but if it was somebody who didn't know who you were, and they were like, who would you put her? I was like, Miss Pat. The reason why Miss Pat is the funniest person on earth to me, because I'm a hood dude.
Yes.
And the shit she was talking about, I'm just like, I try not to be the hood guy. Like in public, I try to but I would, I resonate. So when she talks, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, we back on their block.
Yeah.
On the block today. Yes, because they say you can't take the girl out the hood. And but the hood is always gonna be with me. Yeah. So those experiences that we don't talk about, and then Miss Pat got a lot of trauma.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
But now, once you've healed and once you got into a happy place, when you're in your safe space, you know what? Now everything is funny. And now we can talk about certain things that's normally not funny.
What is most comedians, and obviously I resonate around comedians that were trauma filled, except for like Dave Chappelle. We're from the same place, but so I understand like his comedy a little different because I like how he does the punchline in the beginning and tells a story to make the punchline make sense. Like there's technique and there's just like rapping and singing and any songwriting or producing. It's all the same when it comes to creating a storyline, right? And so would you say you are more like, because like I said, you're a storyteller. You're not. I don't feel like you're a joke teller. I feel like you're a storyteller that tells a story that, not like I'm a guy, right? You could be talking about some female shit, and I'd be like, yeah. Like if I was on a date, I'd be like, yeah. See, I knew I wasn't bugging, and that's what makes you stood out. When I saw you in Houston, especially because you had a bigger stage, and you were with some heavyweights on that stage, and you held your own like you were the headliner, and I was with it. Like I was like, damn, she's. So you being, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You being more of a story orientated comic versus a joke teller, what makes that hot?
I like to call myself a conversationalist. Like, you ever been in somewhere, like, you go to the store, gas station, you walk in, it's like, hey, good morning, how you doing? And then you end up in a conversation with somebody that you never seen this person before in your life.
Yeah.
But y'all spotted something, y'all gave that just that look like, yo, you spot that? Yo, I peeped that too. And then you just have a conversation. Yeah. I like that. I like having conversations with people. Because storytelling now in comedy is too long. We have to get to the punchline faster. We have to get to what's so funny about this faster. But if I'm sitting there telling you, we just having a conversation, and anybody can jump in the conversation and just be like, you know what, that happened to me the other day. Where? How'd you handle it? Well, if it was me, okay, but it's my turn. You know, that kind of thing.
I didn't even think about it like that. Okay, so, yeah. And down here, down south, that's every day. Like, there's a dude at the store, like, so where I live, I don't live, like, there's no zoning in Houston. So unlike El Paso, there's not, there's Devil's Triangle and then this part of the Northeast and then, you know, so on and so on. In Houston, it's one street is the hood, one street, $1 million homes, next street, middle class, next street, the hood. Like, it just keeps changing. Well, there's a hood store that everybody in the neighborhood goes to. It's a hood store though, because on the side there was a bootleg food truck, and you know it's bootleg because they got no signs on it, and this nigga over here cooking up shit, and you're just like,
hey man, what you want?
Yeah.
Man, we said the same thing every day, you know.
I got some $10 plates.
Yep.
What you looking at? I'm so engulfed with stuff. There's a white dude that was from the north side that works there. And like something about the north side in Houston, you could be white, Hispanic, black, they all talk the same. So when you see Paul Wall and all of that's not an act. That's how all of them talk in the north side. Like that's for real. So he tells me a joke of the day when I get gas. So I'll go and get gas. He's like, you want to hear this joke? I'm like, not really. Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. Then he'll tell the joke, and I'll walk out, but it'll be funny as hell. And I'm like, and so, okay, so I take it that you're a natural comedian. Like, the way you observe stuff, and you repeat it, it just happens to be hilarious. Like, who told you were funny, Sharita? Like, who said, damn?
You know what the is? Nobody.
Like, who said? Somebody got to say, damn, that's some funny shit. You should be on stage. Nobody said that?
No, nobody ever said that. I grew up shy and reserved, and I graduated from an all-girl Catholic high school where I didn't really have friends. So in conversation and learning to talk to people, and then the military is like all one way. It's all you gotta be mean all day. So I've never had anybody tell me I was funny. I just went on stage and just was doing my thing just to see what would happen. So I just took a chance, and it wasn't until like a couple of shows. My first year, I was bad. My first year was horrible. And women would come up to me and they'd be like, "Girl, keep going. You representing us. Keep going. Don't stop. You'll find your voice. You'll get in there. You have it, but you holding back." I've been told I've been holding back, and I don't know why I'm holding back exactly. But once I'm on the stage, I'm in my zone, and I get the crowd feeling me. I'll go all out.
Do you think it's
hard? People don't realize how hard comedy is, because you have a lot of people that imitate somebody else. So we already have Dave Chappelle, we already have Eddie Murphy, we already have Tiffany Haddish. So if we already have them, why are you trying to be them? Just be you. Just go up there, say what you gotta say, and get off the stage.
You know who I like? Sadiq. He's from here.
He's a storyteller.
No, but he's the same age as me. And so when he tells the story, I know like about cats that went to TDC. I knew like life in the 90s, and I know early 2000s. Like I know it, like in the back of the hand. And when Ali talks, it's like, it's just hilarious because his ass will sit down to tell you your joke. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, this brother is about to tell like the ill story.
So he got to be comfortable.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm with it. And there's comedians out there that like Mo's from out here. He has a TV show on Netflix. He's from out here. He's Palestinian, and he tells, like, if you see Palestinians here in Houston, they're different. Like, they talk like Houstonians. They man, hold up type vernacular, but then they could switch. Yeah, they'll switch and start talking that shit, and you like, hey, what? Wait, what? And then so that's, I look at comedians like that nowadays because I'm like, they're like around the way. They're like more, it's like if it was Marvel. I'm a comic book reader. So let's say you have the cosmic Marvel, like the Avengers, and they be going out of space and all that shit.
Right.
But then you got Daredevil. That nigga in there. That's who I'm rocking with right now is like Daredevil and Luke Cage and all them. They ain't never gonna go out of space. You know what I'm saying? And because it's this way above our pay grade in our life that I'm like, well, at least I understand what they talking about because
they everyday men.
Yeah.
They go out and they put their shoes on, they go out to work, and then they just happen to help people in need.
Yeah. And that's how I look at certain comedians, like, because if you take it back with, like, as far as shows and stuff, like with Dave Chappelle when he had Chappelle Show, was so one of a kind at the time, right? Mm-hmm. And all it's been happening since then was being mimicked, like Carlos Mencia or Key and Peele. Like, they all tried to mimic what he shouldn't have been doing at that time. Like, Dave Chappelle should not have been able to do half the stuff. Just like Eddie Murphy. Like, and it goes to the fact of what you're saying. Like, okay, we already have these people, and you're looking at, like, I'm 51. So when I was a kid, the first comedy show I ever saw on film was Raw. And they tried to, I mean, I think he set the stage for everybody to have Netflix specials and, you know, specials on TV and stuff because he did a big screen and sold the hell, like, he did movie numbers on a stand-up comedy, right? And then so you got that, and then you got, you know, when you look at, like, Samore, I fucking love Samore. And the only reason why, because she's sexy as hell, right? But she's...
I had to unfollow her because as a comedian, I have rubbed elbows with some famous people, and that's hard to do, right? But when you meet them, you get to talk to them, and you get to ask them as an up and coming.
Yeah.
How do I get to your level?
Right.
What do I need to do? And she's playing out. She was like, the fuck that got to do with me? I got mine. I can't help you.
You know, it always goes back to what I tell people about art. I know look, I ain't gonna be the dude to tell you go fucking run up on nobody. I'm gonna tell you, admire them hoes from fall because, and when I say hoes, it's a Texas thing. Like, admire them from fall. Last thing, like, I interviewed artists when I was on the radio. I could tell you, like, right now who was 100 and who was terrible. I'm going to tell you, like, 90% of artists that came out of Houston, they'll put the game onto you so you can get it with them. They'll do a record with you, everything, right? Then you start venturing out west. It gets harder because they don't want you to take their shine. New York too. They don't want, as soon as they get up, they ain't trying to bring you with them because they don't want you to take. Yeah, and that goes along with why I like a person like Childish Gambino or Donald Glover so much, because he's a writer first, then the comedy and all that stuff. And I remember he said, I just did a stand-up comedy to see if I can do it. And killed most of the comedians that were out that year. Like, easy. Then you got comedians like Ryan Davis that spends his own money on his own special to try to shop it so he can get 100% of the profit.
Special. He funded it himself.
Right. I think he spent like almost $100,000 on that. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of bread to just come up with a special that you haven't shopped. You get what I'm saying? But the residuals on it, when I started seeing that comedians started understanding the business side versus the I'm funny, pay me just a little bit of money, when you could have just did a special by yourself and get all the money, right?
Okay.
Is that your ultimate goal?
Eventually. I'd say that would be one of my goals, to go up there and get a little bit of paper, because the behind the scenes of it, you're going to get stiffed a lot. There's hardly any money, because it all comes down to the supporters. If the fans and the people that go to comedy shows are not buying tickets, you're not going to grow. And that's the hard part. Because this is my 90-year anniversary doing comedy, and people still don't know who I am.
You got to take a month off and go to New York. And where's that? You got to go stand your ass outside over there by NYU.
Yep, and that's exactly how you got to do it. Because I'm about to put my own special on, Because everybody's like, oh, well, you shouldn't be putting on a special under 10 years. You shouldn't be doing this. And I'm like, where's the format on comedy of when...
Who told you that?
That's my career.
Not who, but is there a rule to when you could do it?
Well, I'd say not do it in your first year. If you haven't gone out and made sure you're funny and got the recognition of being funny, get some networking under your belt first. So your third, fourth year, if you're feeling it, then start it off.
Nice.
Because I don't believe in that 10-year mark anymore, because a lot of people don't make it to 10 years. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Tomorrow's not promised today. So you got to get it where you fit it.
I agree.
But not to go to like open mics and bomb and then I'm gonna go do a special. So my goal, my first goal in comedy was to be a national touring comic and go into any comedy club, get the recognition, and work with the big names and get into movies. But it's not working out that way no more, because everybody has their cliques. So it's hard to get into a clique now, especially as a female. And then, like you said, nobody wants you to pass them in a field that they've worked so hard for. But there's too many stages to gatekeep. There's too many stages. You haven't worked every comedy club. I know you haven't. So it's like, so telling me I can't do this, I can't do that, I have to wait. What am I waiting on?
Yeah.
I don't have a manager. I don't have an agent. So who's to tell me, nah, you can't do that? So I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing and break barriers and go for it.
We definitely have been breaking barriers, and barriers. What I'm meaning is, you don't have a prejudice when it comes to who you perform with, what you perform with, how you perform, and I pay attention to you. I follow you on all the medias, but you perform like when you look at the LGBTQ community, you tapped into it. And did you tap into it because it was natural, or did you tap into it because you saw something? What was it that you saw that made you say, you know what, let me fuck with them too?
To be honest, it was something that I saw. I saw them going up there, and I'm like, I can do that too, because you need that motivation. If you see somebody, and then it's representation matters. So if you see somebody doing what you want to do, and they're successful at it, of course you want to hang out with them and figure out the ins and outs. But I've learned that you can't ask questions. You have to come like you've been doing it as long as them, if not longer. So you're basically faking the phone, which is sad because it's like you never want to bomb. Yeah. But just to get into the I'm Funny Too club, you just gotta just come with that confidence. Like, hey, I can hold my own. Hey, I got stuff I gotta talk about too. And I'm funny over here. And people are feeling it. Okay. So a lot of bookers, they're gonna take a chance on you, but it's far and few between that'll do it.
So so it's like, as a DJ, it sounds to me like y'all pretty much go through the same thing with promoters when it comes to pay. And the sad part is
they don't want to pay because they're taking a chance on you, especially. And I'm very fortunate because I'll go to cities, and like I said, they might have never heard of me, but they see me on a flyer, and I've already sparked their interest. All right, so they're looking at the flyer. They're like, all right, she look cute, but she gonna be funny. And then when I get on that stage and I surprise everybody in the room, just go up there. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I get nervous. 3 seconds before I touch that microphone, I'm nervous. But once I take that microphone off that stand and I get my jokes and I'm reading the crowd, and I'm just like, you know what? Those that's gonna like it. And if I'm not for you, I understand that. And I had to learn that because my goal is to make everybody in the room laugh. But guess what? Well, some people, they're not going to feel me regardless. Just do my best. Just do for everybody else feeling me. Tell the jokes and just have fun. Have fun.
It's funny because you, and I was thinking again when you came to Houston, you don't, like, you can tell somebody that has a nervous twitch. Mm-hmm. And to me, you didn't really never, like, you can tell, like, there's the comic strip in El Paso, right? It's this big. And you got these other spots in these other cities. They're relatively small. I'm not saying that Houston had the biggest stage, but there was a bigger stage. Like, I'm talking about just the stage, and one thing I do know is stage work. And the bigger the stage, the more you look like a freaking little fish in a big ass pond. Yeah, and like the stage is just huge. So I was like, is she gonna utilize the stage, or is she gonna just stand complacent? Because it can happen, right? Right. Nah, you just walk. I was like, look at her. She just telling her business like she live here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's so cool. So when you prepare for a show out of town from where you live, which is obviously out of your comfort zone, do you attempt to learn where you're going first? Like, try to find out something about the city, try to find something that's relatable?
Most definitely. I gotta make sure it's not the sundown time. I gotta dip in, dip out real quick. Okay. I gotta find out what's the language spoken there. They're gonna do AAVE. We speak in Spanish. We speak in Patois. What's the language? What's the lingo? So what we try to do, get into town early enough and hit up a restaurant, sit there and listen to people, how they talk, what they're wearing, and see what the flow is to try to fit in. So I do try to do a little bit of research with the little bit of time I have.
What do? Tell them, take me to the hood.
Nah, you don't do that. Like, what you looking for? No.
Where the hood at? Where the hood at so I can know where the weed man at?
You know what? They come up to us regardless. I think we got to say, look, that that those the ones that automatically walk up to us. I'm like, clients? No.
No, you said for clients.
Yeah, no, just visiting.
Yo, that is crazy. What is the weirdest city you ever been to perform?
Boise, Idaho. Oh my goodness. So I had a show out there, and it was 2 nights, 4 shows. And I get there, and they got like, when you walk through the airport, they got black people on the walls. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, they got Muhammad Ali up there and other notables up there. So I'm like, all right, what's good? But then when you actually going through the city, there's a whole different tone, you know. And then I did a podcast out there, and some told me don't say it, but I was like, no, we're gonna bring light to it, because how is it that you have this city? It's a beautiful city, right? I did the comedy show. There was like 4 black people in the audience. Everybody else white, and it's not an issue. But what I didn't like about it was the podcasters were trying to pretend that there was not a racial divide. Like, if I'm outside looking in and I see it, you live here, you should know, you know? And the show, one of the shows we did was called Mix and Misidentified, where you talk about your native background, your national background, whatever. And going up there, white people love mixed people. I'm like, yeah, because you created us, you know? You kind of the reason why, you know, we don't have a direct link to our heritage.
Of course,
and everything like that.
right.
So going up there and telling the jokes and making sure they laugh and letting them know, like, you know, no hard feelings, but I got a plan to catch, I'm not staying. Because that's the first thing they ask you is, how long you here? That's a hint to let me know, no, I'm here for like 2 hours tops and I got to go.
So you out. Okay, so
Yeah.
tell me one truth about yourself.
Tell you what?
One truth about yourself.
One truth about myself is that I am an empath. I feel too much, and I let that get in my head sometimes when it shouldn't. And it's hard to let that go, because with empaths, it's like people take our kindness for weakness. They look at us and then they automatically want to see if they could destroy us, tear us down. But I'm too hard already to let you do that to me. I've already lived that life. I'm not a pushover anymore. So.
You say I'm not a pushover anymore.
Anymore.
Right.
So, I'm right behind you. I'm only 47. I'll be 48 this year.
You know, everybody that I know is between the age of 44 and 48. Swear they're right behind me. No, you're not. I'm 51. I already passed the mark.
Yes. But it's like, it's different when you're in your 20s and 30s.
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
find yourself and figure stuff out. But when you get to your mid-40s and late 40s, you're already there. So
Yeah.
nothing phases you the same. You know, people's
No.
opinions don't matter the way it used to.
So, being in the military, and I'm not going, like, so to be in the military and then still do comedy, do you draw from your military experience as well, like to be relatable or just to say something that's funny that nobody might not know, or do you just leave that separate?
Sometimes. That comes with researching the city that I'm in. If it's not a big military town, I don't say nothing about the military, because that means they don't like us there.
Okay.
If it's a big military town, I'll do an honorable mention right quick. But for some reason, I think that's part of me holding back, because it's like there's military stories I want to tell, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that right now.
Well, what if you tell the story as if it's not a military story? Like, like.
I'm learning. I'm learning to tell it just like it's a regular joke. But like, I'll get stuck in my head, like, because it's still traumatizing to me.
Oh,
so
okay.
I talk about situations that happened to me because I tried telling stories about like my battle buddies, it was funny, but when you're not telling the story from your perspective, it's not the same.
Right.
It's one of those stories where they have to tell it because it happened to them. So if I tell the version of what happened, I'm there, and this is what happened. It's funnier. But I'm still learning to tell the military jokes, and I don't know why. Like the military jokes are harder for me.
Well, I mean, because I bet, like, it's funny because like a lot of my mother's family served. I'm like the only dude that ain't never went to nothing. I was like, I ain't going nowhere. Because I knew I went past basic training because I don't listen at all.
Oh, that's hard. Yes.
Yeah, I don't listen. Like. They'll be like, we're going to break you down. And then, I don't know, whatever. Like, I was deathly afraid of my mother. So if I left her house, I wasn't afraid of anybody, So I'm like, what can you possibly do other than me go back to my mother's house? Because I did. I moved out when I was 18. So I was like, what can you... So I think me being bullheaded, I didn't...
But that's all the military is. When you get to basic training, it's making your bed and cleaning up. That's really all it is. And then exercise all day.
Right.
And if you're not used to like somebody yelling in your face and you can't hit them, it's all about the self-control. They get in your face on purpose to get you used to having somebody yell at you, which doesn't make any sense. But if you deploy, it makes perfect sense. Because there are people that don't understand personal space. Like Iraq, they want to stand on top of me for some reason. And to talk to you, I'm like, man,
Oh my
God.
So
that's all it is. It's really, the military literally is a mind game. And if you play games, because the whole time basic training, I was laughing. I was seeing situations, I'm laughing. Like the big guys that would join, they 6'5", 300 something pounds.
Get broken
and
down.
Start trying to get them skinny. And then when they talk about, they sit there roasting them, hey, big boy, you missed a meal today, you gonna miss some meals here. And I'm just laughing like, wow, you just call him a big boy, you call him this, you call him that.
Yeah.
It's name calling. So if you've been in a cipher, a roast battle, that's all the military is, to see who comes up with the best joke of the day. That's all it is.
Well, thank you for that. I wish I'd have known that 30 years ago. But, okay, so, God, let's see. You're fun. I got to figure out something else to throw at you. Okay, so, because I asked all my questions, you were spot on. I was like, damn.
Oh, thank you.
So, as a comedian, what was the worst moment that you ever had that you're like, I don't know if I want to do this?
No, I'll tell you, because it still sticks with me to this day. As a comedian, people hire you to do private events that are not just where you do comedy, right? So we had an event at the El Paso County Coliseum. It was a music festival. And they hired comedians because we have to get together, we could talk, we could draw the crowd in, keep the crowd occupied while the band behind us sets up. So my dumbass, I go up there and I was supposed to say something about, my first concert. Like my very first concert I went to was the Smashing Pumpkins at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. I didn't say that. I'm dating a comedian who's in a band. So my dumbass says, yeah, girls, it's really cool to be, on his stage here. I don't play no music, but I'm dating the lead singer of a band. So I just told all these girls to be a groupie. Why did I do that? Why? It wasn't funny. There was no joke in there, and you say something wrong because you feel it and you want to take it back.
Yeah, but it's already out your mouth.
It's already came out, and then I'm looking around for like, all right, so is this band ready? Some get off the stage, and the DJ's like, no, keep going. You gotta eat this. Keep going. All right, and then come to find out later, we had friends of ours that knew us in the audience.
Oh my God!
Been to El Paso County Coliseum.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. So yeah. And then one of the bands, it was like a fake Slipknot tribute Slipknot band, and they were like, we want to take pictures with the.
It's a tribute band.
It was a tribute band. Sorry. So yes, the tribute band. They was like, meet the mistress, and I was like, mistress. How come you're mistress? And I'm like, well, you're stupid when I went up there and said you the company. He's like, no. Yeah.
Look at you.
You don't win them all. So.
Damn. So, what was the best time that you had on stage so far?
The best time. Mario Superstar Salazar. He is a big comedian in the Rio Grande Valley area, and a lot of comics always say they want to impress him to get doors open for them. And I featured for him in Corpus Christi, Texas, and he was just in awe of my set. That he hyped me up that show. He followed me on social media. So we follow each other on X, Instagram, Facebook, and everything like that. And every time he comes to El Paso, when he does the El Paso comic strip, he always asks Bart if I could be on the show. He says no, but at least he asks me.
What's the deal with that though? Like,
nobody knows. Nobody wants to talk about it. I'm banned.
I mean, I know you're banned from there.
I'm banned from performing there.
Why?
And a lot of comics have come in, and it's a jealousy. So me and one of the waitresses, we started at the same time, and one of us got better, and one of us did not. And we both used to work at the comic strip. A lot of people don't know I used to work in the comic strip as the door person. So, and that's helped me hanging around comics and meeting the famous comics coming through there. So she took it and she went and told Bart that we're fighting and whatever. And I'm like, it was petty. And I was like, we're not fighting. We're too old to be fighting.
Right.
But it was just mere jealousy. It was more of, if I can't get on that stage and perform, you can't either.
You serious?
Yes, and then it's 2025. This happened in 2018 when I started.
Wow.
And today, the comments will tell me, yeah, she's still talking about you. So when you hurt somebody where it hurt, they can't let it go. So to this day, I cannot perform at the El Paso Comic Strip. And you know what? It used to bother me because some comedians will say if you can't perform at your home club, that you garbage basically. And I refuse to believe that because in my situation, I can't get on the stage. I've been able to perform if it's like a comedy competition and they need a female comic. So I'm an affirmative action hire there. But I can't be on the stage as a host, a feature, or a headliner there. So instead of focusing on one comedy club, I'd rather be national touring and work on other stages.
Well,
and do it that way.
First of all, and this is in any industry, that's BS for one, as far as if you can't do it in your hometown. That only applies to New York and LA. I apologize. Because that's what you're trying to get to. So if you're already there and you're that person, yeah, you gotta blow up there. You just skipped everything to blow up there. LA the same, Atlanta the same. But when you're an out of market spot, no disrespect to Mark Reed, but I'm just saying he obviously been in the game way, way before I even knew anything about a comedy club. But my point is that just like when I was in radio, I there was one thing that resonated with what you said. That whole 10-year thing. I remember I was told when I first got on the radio in 2000. Because when I first got on the radio, I wasn't on the radio. I was I was a production assistant. I was the person that sat up the tents and all that shit for remotes. I was that guy trying to get on. And they were like, yeah, after a couple of years, like some McDonald's shit. And I was sitting there and I would tell Mark X, I'm not doing that. And so I'm a learner. So I'll sit with program directors and all that. Hey, you mind if I sit in with you? And I'll sit there. I would sit with every jock that had a show. I would sit there. I wouldn't bother them. I'll sit in the corner and watch.
Yeah, it'd be like a shadow.
Yeah.
Learning.
Shout out to Gina Lee Fuentes, because she's the one who trained me how to be a music director. All this stuff, right? Showed me how to do things, and then DJ Marquez taught me how to DJ. So, I mean, I have people that were around me. You know what I mean? I had Drea Thomas that spoke a different language to these motherfuckers. So I had to learn, and I had to take all this in. And ended up, I started in 2000 and then had my first show in 2003 by accident. But the accident became the blessing, because it was like, I just, all right, you talk about the Coliseum, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first time I ever was on stage and radio was at the Sun Bowl. And this is for Power Jam, and this is the biggest Power Jam Power 102 ever had. I'm still new. Nobody wanted to get on stage because the stage was big as hell. Again, remember we were talking about the size of the stage? Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here like, I ain't think nothing of it. Because I have anxiety, and I'm inherently an introvert. I'd rather be at home than out. So I used to drink tequila. I'm the only person in the world that drinks tequila and it just relaxes me. It doesn't get me drunk. I don't get all, yeah. So I used to carry this cup, and I was drinking the tequila, and Mark was like, they were like, oh, nobody wants to get on stage because there was an issue. So they didn't want to get booed. So me and Mark went up stage. Mark went, he did what he did. I get up there, acted a fool, brought Dre up. We just acted up. Like, we acted like some Class A niggas, right? At the Sun Bowl. And the headliner was Ja Rule. And everybody was in that bill, Naughty by Nature. Like, it was, so when my old boss, before he exited and went to Dallas, he wrote a letter and he was like, give Pooh a chance. That guy's amazing. Of course they did it. So they didn't. It didn't do nothing. Still went back. Yeah, I was still a weekend guy. Nobody wanted to give me a chance. And so being in El Paso, the one thing I hate hearing is, oh, because I'm black. And trust me, I know I'm black. I'm dark-skinned. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't use that as a crutch.
And it shouldn't be, because they listening to black people music. They want to say the N-word in the car.
No, they say it out loud.
Oh, that's...
I actually sat up there and said, y'all inherited that where y'all can have it.
Yeah.
But, like, being a person of color to wreck shop at a place that you're not supposed to be wrecking shop at means more. You don't gotta be at Bart Reed's. You're already doing this, that, and the third. It's gonna become a time when they're gonna want to book you. That's when the price changes. Okay. They'll be like, yesterday's price ain't today's price, bitch. You gotta understand that. So, that's the whole thing. Like, when you're looking at the stage and you look at the size of the stage, that's what ends up mattering. To do a small stage is something that you choose to do at the end game. When you're looking at the end game and you're like, and Bart Reed comes, hey, I know we had our differences. Oh no, we're good. I just want 10 grand.
He follow me on Instagram now.
Yeah, because you're moving. It's like I told you, like, your funniest shit is, well, to me, was TikTok. And I was like, she is so funny because she just says stupid shit for no reason. Like you do, because you'll talk like it's like normal. And you're like, yeah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just bust out laughing. I'm like, why did she even say that? Like,
because it brings your attention to me.
right.
You know? That's all it is. It's just a marketing thing. It's like, wow, that was some weird stuff. And then guess what you're going to do? Hopefully you go back and tell your friend, you know what this girl said? And then it strikes up a conversation and it gets eyes on me. But I still haven't cracked TikTok. I should be on there more, but I don't know what to do on it.
I finally did something with it. I'm still not 100. I get paid now, but...
Yeah, but you're doing DJ, so you have something there. Like me, I'm just telling jokes.
Well, I just play music. It's the same thing. Like, it doesn't even matter. It's like I don't want to be affiliated with any groups or anything like that. Like, I want to create my own little circle at times. You know what I'm saying? And then, because at least I know my circle is genuine versus,
yes,
you know.
A lot of comics are learning the hard way. They try to do them TikTok skits.
Yeah.
And the ones that are TikTok famous, they get on a stage and they just standing there. You can't do a skit on a stage when you got 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
How long did they last? About 15 minutes, and then that's it. So yeah, man, you keep being original. Like I think that's why I like that big boy. I forgot his name, but or like DC Young Fly. I know he's not. He's a naturally funny guy. He's not a comedian, in my opinion. Like if I ever sat down with him, I'd be like, "You're just funny because you're stupid." No, I'm serious. Like I'm like
that comic book is kind of funny stuff.
Yeah, like I'm like, bro, my family's from Atlanta, like, and they dumb like you, and I just be sitting there laughing. Like I be like, this dude, but now as he's maturing, now you're starting to take him a little bit more serious because now he's taking the craft serious. It's not.
He has to actually write the jokes out.
Yeah, it's not a YouTube skit no more. It's not a Instagram skit. Like this is how you make money, bro. And so I agree with you on that. Like I was thinking that you were gonna go more the skit side, like doing like the whole. Which I mean, I don't see it as a bad thing, but
there's too many females already doing it.
Yeah.
They're covering the mother, they're covering the grandma, they're covering dating, they're covering the boyfriend skit. It's oversaturated. I'm not gonna be able to break through that. I'll just look like a copycat and I'll get lost in it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's why I hate podcasts. I was doing podcasts in 2013 when it wasn't cool. Now everybody, hey, I got something to say. I got something to say. Let me just tell the world with a microphone. And I'm like, and then you introduce. The funniest thing is interviewing anybody. When they do interviews, they just sit there.
And don't say nothing. Just like talk, have conversation. I don't know what to say.
They don't, or they try to bring out the drama and stuff. And I'm not a drama-filled person. I'm not a shock jock. I don't like that because I don't want emotions to be negative because I feel like negativity just like falls on people. Yeah. And it's not good. So, but look, Sharita, I'm a fan, so you ain't ever got to worry about me. And again, if you ever need anything on our side, you be like, hey, boo. I don't need nothing, but I need something. And then I understand.
All I ask is if you see a flyer, please share that flyer. Let people know I'm coming through and I'm worth it. That's all I ask.
No, I got you. So you should tell everybody how they can, like your credentials, how they can get a hold of you.
I'll definitely follow me on I'm actually giving y'all my real name. It is Sharita. So on Facebook, it's just spelled SHA big space RITA. I'm on Instagram, same thing, but it's SHAR1TA_. Because did you know there's a lot of cheerleaders in the world that's comedians now? So you're gonna find me. Though.
You're from the crack era, so yeah, there's a lot of cheerleaders.
Oh yeah. And then Shenanigans. I got the Shenanigans podcast, Shenanigans production. So I feel like since doors were open for me, I try to pay it forward and open doors for other comedians. So I produce shows as well. We have, and it's a blessing to be able to do that. So I feel like I keep getting booked because I'm getting other people booked. Now I'm small time now, so I can't afford the top names. But if you're a comedian, you coming through El Paso, I got shows running through El Paso, Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, and I'm on TikTok and Twitch, but I ain't figured it out yet. But if you see me on there, just watch for a little bit.
No, she is funny, y'all. So, like I said, I don't co-sign for everybody, just somebody, and Sharita is one of them. And again, I thank you for taking your little moment of your 27 children that you're taking care of. And
somebody got low.
No, I'm gonna bring you back to. This is a limited series, but I have 2 more series to do this year, so I'd love to have you back.
Yes, I'd love to come back. Thank you. And you know you always want the one shenanigans side of the house too.
Oh yeah, I know I'm funny. I'm funny as fuck. I just don't. I just can't be broke right now. All right, so.
Same. This economy is.
Yeah, that world is wretched. I can't even fuck with it, but.
About to be out here making some banana bread like everybody else.
That part. And we're like, yo, I got these 5, 2 for $5, baby.
Okay.
Sharita, thank you again, and again, follow her wherever you see her. Holla at her, say, hey, Pooh sent you, and she'll treat you right. All right. So again, I Hate Podcast Show, and this is your boy Hef, and we gonna holler. Salute.
What the dudes dumb corny, but the ladies were fly. Hanging with Day, Korea, that master getting black pussy. Yeah, and he lived around the way. Knew this girl named Shay. She was mixed, but always willing to play. So I let her. Claudia was a chick that drove a black Jetta. Mexican broad, and she believed she was go-getter. And she believed she was go-getter. And she believed she was go-getter. And she